Watch and burn.
Hey everyone, or you can hear me, but you can't see me, so I'm still saying hey. But at this point, I imagine you can't see much of me. Today, I am kind of in the middle of nowhere again, discussing, oh fuck, look at that, there's a camera up there. Are they monitoring this location? Oh fuck, there's a camera up at some little makeshift telephone pole thing. But anyways, today I am discussing Minor Threat's entire discography. Now, this was released a million years ago, back when I was a kid. Initially, of course, we had to pick up the two separate cassettes, the cassettes for Out of Step, and then the cassette that was out for the first two EPs. But there were still songs from their discography that I was missing, and then when this came out, this hit like an atom bomb. Everybody tried to scoop this up. The best part was, at this point, you'd be tape trading with your friends. So if one person, ponied up the $75 for the CD, then they would just sort of, the music would disseminate to everybody else in their peer group. There it is. Now you know I'm in my 40s. I'm referring to people's friends group as their peer group. But anyways, yeah, and this made the rounds. And there's a really good reason for that, and that's because it's Minor Threat. Anyways, yeah, CDs were sort of the go-to form for music enthusiasts, and when you're a kid, you're like, oh my God, I gotta get the CD because it's cooler and whatever. So yeah, so all of the songs are on there, and I mean, this is everything Minor Threat did from start to finish. They're incredibly fast, they're incredibly fun, they're incredibly catchy, and their songs have a hell of a lot of heart and a hell of a lot of meaning, considering that this is the band that was responsible for creating the straight edge movement, which I suppose you could argue, for better and for worse, still exists today. When I was a kid, I was really not into the whole drugs and alcohol thing. As I got older, I softened considerably on the drugs, but when I still don't like alcohol. It just never really sat right with me, literally. Like, I drink a beer and my fucking stomach's like, oh, you think so? So me and alcohol have never been friends. But when I was a kid, I wasn't really into anything. And I caught a lot of shit from my friends back at that point in the early to mid 90s. If you weren't doing what your friends wanted, you were automatically considered gay. So not wanting to do drugs and alcohol somehow made me a homosexual. The people who didn't do drugs were just like losers. And then Tuesday, everybody discovered Minor Threat. And then Wednesday, everyone was like, Minor Threat's this thing called straight edge. And then Thursday, everyone was trying to be straight edge. And by Friday, you had something to call yourself if you didn't want to do drugs. And suddenly it sounded better than just saying, I don't want to do drugs. You were like, fuck, I'm straight edge. And that made it a lot easier, especially considering that I was so young when I discovered Minor Threat. And so that was really exciting. But the best part of Minor Threat was the music. I mean, whether or not you agreed with their take or their stance on drugs and alcohol, it doesn't really matter. The music's amazing. I don't know, there's so much history here, and that the history matters because the music still holds up 4 decades later. This sort of fast and thrashy early 1980s American hardcore punk rock, this shit just doesn't get old. Like, whether it's like the Dead Kennedys with In God We Trust, or it's Black Flag's Damage, or it's anything Minor Threat did, or the Circle Jerks, or the Bad Brains' first couple records, or, I mean, this whole scene was just so fertile, I guess. It's a good word to use. Because these bands were fucking red hot, and none of them were making anything but the right moves, I mean, oh yeah, that's right, Misfits, Earth AD too, Wolf's Blood. So, I mean, Minor Threat have been such an integral part of, like, my musical upbringing because, like I said, they were fast and thrashy, but they were fun and catchy, and I really loved how they were so completely against the use of drugs and alcohol. And I think that the straight edge movement, at least the majority of it, is a really positive movement that should be kept going. I will say it sort of gave birth to that hardline bullshit, though. I knew a couple of those guys back in high school. There's this one kid, oh fuck, I can't remember his name. Well, they caught him smoking a cigarette somewhere, wherever they were, and they beat him so fucking severely that, like, he didn't even look human. Like, he looked like fucking John Merrick, And so I don't really agree with that aspect of straight edge. Oh wait, the other thing I'd like to point out about Minor Threat that I thought was really funny. The one pillar of straight edge that everybody just conveniently forgets is they don't have sex one. known a lot of straight edge people. I was straight edge myself for many years. And it was like, I was having regular sex at that point. So it's like, I love how everyone just like, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I'm straight edge. And it's like, yeah, do you have sex? And they're like, shut up. What does it matter? You're like, well, you do know that the band that sort of invented the movement, they lumped in not having sex as being part of straight edge. And everyone's just like, what was that? What'd you say? I didn't hear you there, bro. I didn't make out that last part. I mean, I don't do drugs, I don't drink, and I don't smoke, no cigarettes, none of that shit. And then, yeah, you don't have sex. What? Oh, no, I don't know. I gotta go. I got some people calling me. And then they take off, completely avoiding the whole don't have sex part of the straight edge movement. Yeah, this discography is absolutely essential if you care about this kind of music. And I'm right in the fucking sun, so I am gonna go. So thank you so much for hanging out with me for way too long while I discussed Minor Threat's absolutely essential and fucking killer discography. That's the name, the Minor Threat Complete Discography. So yeah, so thank you again hanging out with me. If you like this review or you found it kind of coherent, don't forget to do something nice for somebody, but please, most importantly, don't forget that the world is a better place because you are in it. And I'm gonna go because I'm starting to sweat like a fucking pig. Have a good afternoon. I just wanted to say thank you for making it through the entire video. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to remind everyone one more time, even though I've probably already done this in the video that you just watched, to please click the like button as well as the subscribe button because it helps this channel grow. And thank you for hitting like and subscribe, and we will see you guys really soon.